Looks like it's running. What's going on, everybody? It's your boy, the ITP Paladin, coming at you with a quick VOD review. I'm going to try and make this one a very quick one. It looks like this is a competitive match, so the sooner I get to it, the better, but I did want to give a quick update because in my last few videos, and I do feel that this is appropriate to mention here, I'll even make a short about it because I have to work later on this evening. It is the weekend, and normally Fridays I kind of cut that off because I have work towards the tail end of the day. So to kind of just give an update on this, I do want to quickly just make a note because my other videos seemed very harsh and critical of Season 9. And I will admit it was probably a little bit of an overreaction, but I know the way that I play. I know the way that I focus on things. I know what heroes I play and who I play against, and how the meta and the comp is going to change up, and how the game essentially didn't go the way that I personally would have preferred it, but it doesn't need to go the way I prefer it. I'm not trying to be like, oh, hey, I have authority or anything stupid like that. Who cares? But, yeah, I don't like the way the game's going. That's just my opinion of it. Yes, I'm going to get back into playing it. I probably just needed a few days to process, and it looks like Overwatch devs are going to address the changes and everything. So you know what? I'll let it be what it is. I'll come back. I'm going to be doing this coaching session now anyway, but I will be coming back. So let's get on to it. I'm in the middle of eating some empanadillas, or as empanadas, as some other people know it. It's just the way I grew up with it, whatever. So I am watching my viewer Riot here. He was a recent follower on my channel, has been giving me a couple of my VODs, and I think I only did one with him, two with the other one, who also shared another one, which I'll be doing on Monday. So shout out to Riot. Thank you for sending me the VOD review and helping me get some practice over here. So let me quickly just set this back to you. 1, 2, 3, and then maximum field of view. Okay, all right. So looks like he's playing Echo. He didn't give me too much details. He just said that he felt like he was being hard focused, like he was like he had a bounty on his head, which, you know, kind of understandable. And then he also, what else did he mention? He has it right here on here. His aim was shaky. Okay, so let's just have a look. For the shaky aim, I'm just going to quickly throw this out there. I've already done my aim guide. The aim guide is the best thing that I can recommend because doing everybody on an individual basis is going to be very overwhelming, for lack of a better term. If you have a specific thing that I think I can address, I don't mind, helping you tweak your settings by a little bit, but if you're looking for an overall change in your settings, unfortunately, I can't just do that on an individual basis. You got to really work on that on, like, watching the guide and just going on the chapters and everything. And I'll always put the link. Like, the link is always there. It's in my videos. You could definitely find it. It's like one of my first hour-long videos with Soldier 76 on the thumbnail. So, right, with that being said, let us continue. All right, so this is the opening. Before I actually begin, where's my headphones? Like I said, I'm in the middle of eating, so everything's a little messed up on my... What? Oh, the keyboard. I almost forgot that I have a wired keyboard. Yeah, let's get this on so I can hear everything. Yeah, they're still talking on my Discord. I'm not doing this live. Again, I have to work at the tail end of the evening, so it's easier to record it than it is to stream it, so let's get on with it.
3, 2,
there we go.
1. Attackers incoming. Start the payload.
Not a very good start, Riot. I mean, okay, let's be thinking of both the negative and the positive. So the negative is you didn't necessarily do anything wrong by taking high ground. You didn't do anything wrong by walking out to look. What was wrong, however, is that this is a very common hotspot, and Junkrat, if I'm not mistaken, is still one of the top heroes for the season, that people are abusing his extended hitbox. I'm not gonna put that on you as like, oh, hey, you did something wrong, but more like, just be aware. This also happens in higher ranks. Sometimes they do tend to go back, but you'll always find that odd end thing. But I'll go back a few seconds. Right there, you could see his trap. If his trap is there, it is a safe bet that he's either right next to you, out of view, or he's over on the side, over on that balcony on the over far end, that bridge. So I wouldn't have gone for. I would have taken out the trap, and that would probably would have made him come out and make it a little easier for you to kind of like back and forth mitigate him killing you. But the good news is that you got 14% alt charge from that. Where is he? 13%? Yeah, so you basically got more out of it by killing him this way. Now here's the thing about the spawn camp too. A lot of people think this is negative. I personally think this is positive because first off, what resources did they have to give up? And you're at spawn. Yeah, you're a little bit delayed, but you're literally beginning the match. Yes, it slows you down a tad, and it looks like he died anyway. How did he die? How did he die? He went. He set down another trap. Throws his that. What an idiot. We'll skip forward. Okay, so there you are again, and thankfully you're a little wiser. But now think about this. Both of you just died. He might have gotten a little bit of extra ult charge, but now he's got to walk back from his spawn. What he did to you at the start of the game, you're only there like, what, 7 seconds later, whatever, from the top, whenever you began. You're not that much further, and you can engage in the team fight immediately. It's not always a negative, and people need to remember that. So let's get that back down. Good angle. Yeah, Ramatra had you there. So let's go back on that. So first off, joining your team. Good. What I would have recommended is not sticking with your Orisa. Remember that you're playing Echo in this case. Echo is not a bad duelist, but she doesn't benefit fully from always hiding behind her tank. She could benefit from taking off angles. You have your flight that could literally take you up here. You could actually take the high ground. Your McCree could definitely benefit by replacing with you and going behind your Orisa. He could also take the high ground. Both of you can benefit from that, but he can benefit better by being behind Orisa than you. So I wouldn't have taken that back angle behind her. I would have either gone to the side here on the bottom through that doorway, or I would have come up here if you were on cooldown. So then you're behind, you get some of your stuff. Let's go back to your aim. Orisa dies. Good use of your flight. Yes, I would have kept high ground. I wouldn't have gone down. So remember that you're playing a very mobile hero that benefits from taking angles. Your best angle right now was to have probably stayed up here, because now you're focusing down, the card is moving. They benefit nothing from trying to take like a hard angle at the minute, because most of them are scattered. They just lost their Moira. Junkrat is still in the back. Where's their McCree? Right there? Okay, just wanted to make sure I was miscounting. Yeah, so that would be my best. That would be my best recommendation, was to just keep high ground. You didn't need to jump back down, but then. Yeah, because now look at what happens. So Ramatra uses his, I believe it's Ravenous Vortex, if I'm not confusing the names. He just basically pulled you from flying away. And where's your cooldowns at? Yeah, you just used your cooldown and now you have no flight. So you are literally stuck. You can't fly away, you can't get out, and they're all on top of you. So even if you backed out into that corner or regrouped with your tank, I don't think they would have been able to make the room for you, would they? Yeah, no, she wouldn't have been able to make the room for you. So, yeah. But hey, at least they got rid of their McCree, so now they're down one, they're down... Okay, yeah, you basically just traded DPS, and the teams are just going to rendezvous over at the next spot, which would be up here, so... just future reference, remember, take high ground whenever possible, don't give them the advantageous fight, and you're playing Echo. Don't always frontline fight with Echo, don't Rambo it up. That's my advice. Okay, good. Good. Did they swap? They swapped their McCree for a soldier, okay. I just noticed that, hold on. Good flight time. Made him waste his rocket. Good stuff. Uh-oh. I wouldn't chase that. I wouldn't chase that. Good stuff. Ah, you fell in the trap again. Okay, so it looks like we have a moment to kind of backtrack for a second. Sorry about all the noise. Alright, so you rejoin the team fight, you do good, you're still at a spot where you're basically trading shots. Now, your team's going to make their push forward, and the first thing you do, thankfully, you got rid of... Who did you kill? Oh, no, you got the trap. Okay, whoops. So now you take the high ground. Perfect. You're doing great. And now you're forcing their division to be either up or down. You're forcing their focus. You evade the rocket. That's good. Kiriko gets the elimination on Lifeweaver. You get the elimination on Soldier. Match is done. You help out with the Orisa on that. Okay, so you basically did everything good for the most part. Nothing but compliments there. Only one thing. When you run into this scenario, think about where you're chasing him. Like, it's one thing, like, if he's running up this angle right here, he turns the corner, there's still this entire open space for him to miss and potentially not get the kill on you. You can maneuver around, you got the freedom. But you're chasing him right over here. He's going to be walking into this doorway, and then he's going to look back because he's being pursued. Where does he need to shoot? He just needs to shoot in that doorway. And if you're in that doorway, you're bottlenecked. So pursuing him wasn't necessarily the issue. Pursuing him is good. Secure the kill, slow them down. That's all great. But it's not about what you did, but where you did it and when. So, yeah, he pretty much weakens you down. He gets a little bit of free ult charge. It looked like you contemplated taking high ground. It looks like the next team fight's about to begin. You looked like you contemplated taking high ground. Remember what I keep mentioning too. What do you do between team fights? Right now, you wasted his trap. He may or may not have another one. You obviously pushed him back, and he's lobbing some grenades. You can see that he's obviously not directly right there. He's just trying to, close off the space and secure any kills that foolishly press forward too quickly. What do you do between team fights? So you just eliminated their team. They're all coming back from spawn. Position yourself. So I'm assuming you're about to, because you have all your cooldowns, and it looks like it's a prime opportunity, and it looked like you contemplated it. So let's see what happens.
Step Rider.
That was...
Step.
Okay. So just to see. So you're on point. That's also not bad. You're pushing the point. You're ready for the next team fight. You're not in the best position. You could have left everybody, and it would have done the same. But you're McCree. Good job on his end. Yes, he might have used his ult, but you have to, I'm not coaching him, I'm coaching you, obviously. But he did a good job there because two things. Number one, he forced them to play defensively. And two, he stopped them from contesting the point. Because now, instead of pushing forward, foolishly trying to get there at a useless endeavor, Ramatra was forced to focus on your McCree, and he was forced to put up a barrier to save his entire team for the next team fight. Whereas, all your team is still ready on point. You finally took the high-end advantage with your McCree, and he's looking to come back down. So he's going to garner value with your team and help out on that team fight. Perfect. And you're ready to go with your ultimate, which you're about to pincer them, which is great. And Ramatra was forced to use his barrier. So, ideal. Good taking on high ground. You're not doing anything wrong by trying to group with your team, but you're also wasting advantageous angles. And what the more important thing is that you could have taken here, and then you could have taken up here when your flight had refreshed. You could have pincered, and you could have taken the angle. Don't be ashamed to take the angle. Don't be afraid to take the angle. And you have your flight. You have your mobility as your survivability. And then you have a health pack down over here. You would have literally forced them to turn and focus on you or to focus on your team. But because now you're with your team, they don't need to do that. Never take an advantageous fight.
Halo's under my control. Let's roll out.
Good example something here real quick. So Soldier has reduced range, yes. Is he still a threat? The short answer is yes. Because he can more consistently hit you at a distance than you can hit him. Yes, you don't have fall off compared to him having fall off. But he doesn't have to worry about his projectile's travel time. And he can more consistently land those shots and force you to make bad decisions. So when you're taking long-ranged fights, even if it was a Widowmaker, McCree, Ashe, doesn't matter who, if you're at that angle and that's who you're facing, one of those groups of enemies, heck, even Hanzo would be still a threat at this point in time. Because even if he doesn't get the one-shot kill anymore, it's still lowering your health to critical levels, and all the enemy team has to do is get one lucky shot in your vicinity. Which, by the way, let's quickly examine, is that possible? Short answer is yes. Absolutely. You're right now fish in a barrel because you're still not past the choke point. So. But you are pressuring him, so that's not entirely bad. Good, taking your angle. Ah! Good ultimate use. Why was I all the way over there? Holy crap. Yeah, so right here, before the engagement begins, I wouldn't have pushed forward, but that might have just been because of his Ravenous Vortex. It might have been unavoidable. I'm not going to penalize you for that, because I think that you weren't intentionally trying to do that.
Adaptive circuits engaged.
Good frontline presence. I understand you were kind of forced into this team fight, and we're now just trading ults. So... Okay, let's examine what just happened. You just basically forced out 4 different ultimates. Yes, it looks like your team is also forcing out theirs. But now they're only left with 1 ult, whereas your team is technically on the way towards 2, when they're on their way towards 1. This is kind of tricky. You technically have greater value, you've all been trading ults, but now they have no... It looks like you might lose this team fight, though. It looks like they don't have ult economy for the next round of team fight, though. So...
This time I have
Yep, I figured. Your team is basically going to have to reset now. Your Moira's caught out of position badly.
We cannot give up on the payload.
Ah, I see what you did. I see what you did. It makes sense. You might need to look into the key binding of your flight, because it looks like you press it and you don't do the full duration. It looks like you start falling. I'd recommend looking into the binding and changing it, if anything, and see if that'll help. Because you want to utilize your flight whenever possible. Good stuff. You forced them back. Ah, what are you doing? And now you forced out another ult. So, just to kind of cover for a second. Why didn't I go back far enough? Oh. Okay. Take high ground. You're dueling Soldier. You pressured him. He's right now very low. He was forced to use his ult. You shouldn't have jumped down. You should have continued to focus him. You had the win. There was nothing that he could do, and if he was going to burn his ult, it would have been a waste on 1. But now you're taking the team fight again. You go back up to fight him again. you could have eliminated, you could have literally cut out the middleman and gotten rid of him prior. That one might have been an accident, so I'm not going to say you didn't keep high ground when you should have. You might have fallen by accident. But now you basically let him burn the ult, and because you're not contesting him, he's not going to be able to get low value. He's going to get pretty high value. And you're caught out in the open when this happens.
Repositioning.
So now we have another problem. So where's your team? Oh, Bastion. I was about to say, ooh. Why does it look like there's a Ramatra and a Diva? I might just be somewhat shot. Yeah, look at where your team is. Also, why are they over there? Wait, what are they doing? What is the enemy team doing? I'm so very confused as to what the enemy team is doing. They pushed forward. Let's watch this from another perspective. Oh, they were chasing... Oh, I didn't see Kiriko there. Oh, because she teleported... Okay, that's what they were doing. Okay. That explains a lot. So where are you now? Okay, so going back to you.
Repositioning.
Yeah, so right now your team would benefit from kind of like grouping back up. And honestly, do you need your value to go... Do you need to be in front of everybody to get your value? So if there's one thing I'm going to tell you ahead of the curve, you are literally wasting advantageous positioning by constantly going down below and feeling like you need to take the team fight. You do not need to give up your position to be advantageous in the team fight or to contribute. You could literally do the same thing from up here. It would have forced their positioning to focus between going down and looking at you up here. But now because you're with your team, they just need to focus on one spot. So I'm going to keep reiterating this. Basically put is that you need to learn to keep your advantageous position. Don't always give up on the high ground. If you need to give up space, that's one thing. Like, if you're here and they're targeting you, over here is probably not a good idea. Use your flight, get into this room, peel on back, go through your respawn doors here to be a little bit safe. But don't give up the high ground. Once you're down here, they just focus on you. So don't give up your positioning. You gotta practice that. So you're back up on the high ground. You don't need to be wasting all your flights to go back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. Remember, flight is not just about gaining elevation. It's not just about taking high ground. It's not about getting into more advantageous spots. It's also an escape mechanic to an extent because it gets you to places that most other heroes don't go. And so now you're forcing the team who typically thinks they need to be focusing on like a horizontal angle. Now you're making it vertical. So it's a great escape tool because now they can't follow you. So you need to learn to use your abilities a little bit more reactively instead of actively, which is what you're doing. You're using it in an active way to constantly go between high and low grounds. Don't do that. Try to keep the high ground. You don't need to constantly give it up. Okay, now you're pressuring junk. Good.
I'm on my way.
Good. Good. No. I understand what you're trying to do, but you didn't need to. And you're trapped again. Take high ground. Take high ground. Alright, team fight's over. I don't need to review that. Yes! Good. Exactly what I'm talking about. So, if you had been up there sooner, you would have been able to deny him. He may have gotten the drop on you. But look at what you're doing now. Because you took the high ground, he can no longer operate on that space freely and go behind your team. So, good job. You could have done it sooner, but you did do it. So, I'm happy.
That's how it's done.
I can see you're struggling with your targets a little bit. You may benefit from having. I don't know what your settings are. I would really need to. I'd really need to be able to talk to you to figure that out. But you may want to look into upping your aim assist strength and aim assist window size if your aim assist strength is already at max. What also helps for projectile, I found it very weird. If you turn on, maybe not all the way, but experiment between like 50, 70, 80, 100, whatever number you want to do, try putting recommended settings, try putting your aim assist window size to 80, try putting your aim ease in, your aim ease in to either 100 or 50, or experiment with those two. See if that helps you smooth with your aim while you're always rapidly moving. Okay, so Kiriko on the high ground kind of doesn't make sense. I see why she probably did it, but she is probably not putting out enough heals for your tank to survive. And your tank is currently only being healed by Anna, who's not in a line of sight. Good kill.
Adaptive circuits engaged. Soldier 76.
Ah! I'm going to assume that was probably a fat finger. You got the point. Good. You were giving me a heart attack, and it's a good thing I held my tongue, because I was going to say, if you kept following that, what are you doing? Like, you just won the team fight. A bunch of them are coming back from spawn as we speak. You do not want to be there pursuing a soldier who had time to regroup his energy and his team. I say energy, his cooldowns. Good pursuit on that Life Weaver. Where's your tank? Yeah, you are technically dividing their attention, I'll give you that. But you're frontlining as an Echo, and you don't have your ultimate anymore. You're not in a very good spot. Good, back up, back up, back up. Let your team get there. Oh, they're cheesing it up. Oh, so close, so close. Ah, unlucky. Yeah, I don't really need to review anything on that team fight. Pretty straightforward. Good on the pursuit for Soldier. Good on recognizing that you couldn't pursue him anymore and going back. But when it came to this team, there's not really much more I can tell you other than to take that high ground. You do have a little bit more pressure now because it's a Bastion and it's a Soldier. And Soldier's about to get his ult anyway, so I don't know. Yeah, that would have been weird. Yeah, taking high ground is probably not going to be as easy over here. You could debatably take the high ground here, but you might still get targeted and easily taken out. Or you could be up here and having to force them to look between your team over there and you up here. Just some thought processes. Worst case scenario, if you couldn't take an advantageous position, then maybe it's time to stop being hyper aggressive and just regroup with your team, and you could be on the low ground while you're waiting, get that health pack that's in this room if I can go in. Get the health pack, come back out, take the angle, and you could fly up and then take this angle right here. And then you would be right back in the original position, but the difference would be is that the enemy team would be pushed up more forward, and it would definitely divide their attention. Again, it's about when, so... Oh, it looks like they pushed. Yeah, we'll go back on that. What are you doing? What are you doing? Oh my god! I don't even need to review that to tell you exactly what happened. You just 1v5'd. That hurt my soul a bit. I'm not actually upset or anything. I'm just messing with you a little bit. But let's be real with each other. Another recognition of knowing your hero, know thyself. Do yourself the favor. Yourself the favor. Don't just frontline with every hero because you can. Echo isn't made for frontlining a 1v5. No hero is meant to 1v5. Please don't waste the fight, don't waste the fight, don't waste the fight. God. That's a tough one. Wait, the Zarya got you. Wow. Zarya is done with your crap. Okay. Yeah, so you're frontlining again. Yes, your tank is up there, but where's your team? You're split. Way split. Hold up a minute. Wait, there... Where's Kiriko? Oh, in here. Okay, I couldn't see her outline for a second. Yeah, you just basically 1v5'd for a second time. Because your team is very split. What I would do, if I was communicating with my team, is try to let them, hey, we need to stop trickling. Don't be trickling. Yo, Zarya is just taking out your entire team. Huh. Good. Yeah, you're still down a healer, though. And a DPS. They still have 2 DPS and a healer. A very good healer behind you.
I have a lot to think about. Repositioning.
Yes! Oh, you can jump it. You can jump that.
Meet your fate.
Let the Kitsune guide you. Kitsune no kaitsu. Огонь по готовности. Adaptive circuits engaged. Fast.
Good copy. Good. So credit where credit's due. Let's go back on that.
Let the Kitsune.
You could have jumped that. I don't know if you did that intentionally. We're waiting for the team fight, or if that was accidental because you didn't think you could do that. But you can. You can jump that. So first off, you did exactly as I mentioned. Good target prioritization. You noticed a weak Kiriko. Where's that soldier? Soldier's right here. Did your... No, you don't have a Life Weaver. That's their Life Weaver. Oh, Lord. Yeah, so it looks like Kiriko used her ult. It looks like you're about to use it after you get there, Kiriko. So they're now down to heal. Good recognition on getting Life Weaver first.
Adaptive circuits engaged. Fast.
Good kill. Good kill. Yeah, so you guys did everything right. That was perfect. That was perfect. I don't know if I could recommend anything better.
Echo online.
Perfect. So, you have a minute left.
She doesn't count.
On the move.
Ready for battle.
My healing pylon is here.
5, 4.
We have a problem. I know what you're trying to do, and it's not that what you're trying to do is a problem. The problem is that when you glided in the way that you did, they now know that you're there. Because your sound effects alluded them to it, which means that you're not stealthy, they know you're there.
3, 2, 1. Attackers incoming.
Yep. And you just gave her bonus energy because she was ready. It's not a you issue, it's just an unavoidable circumstance. Ah! Yeah, what energy is that? Where is she at? She's at 71 energy. I'm sorry, but you fueled most of that.
I can do better than
Yeah,
that.
those only work. Those only work when you know. Like, first off, their Junkrat probably did that, but everybody was going time. Yeah, I mean it's kind of like a crapshoot, but plus you're also Echo. What else are you gonna do? And they're playing Zarya. Chances are you would probably have to understand, like, hey, they probably would still play Zarya. I'm gonna be I'm going to just let this play out. But it's not that your positioning was wrong. You could make that work. But you also made the mistake of alluding to the fact you were there.
Scaling up.
Ah. So let's also be honest about two things for just a second. So right now your team, you got a Roadhog. Oh Lord. So look at your team. You got Alari, good healer. Anna, good healer. Bastion, good damage. Roadhog, not the best tank, but definitely not a bad tank at the moment. He could probably be better, but at the same time, look at who you got on the enemy team. You got just a Bastion. It's weird. Bastion might be a little too strong. I don't know why he went. Maybe he's a better Roadhog player. But this is kind of what I go up on the beginning. Who are you facing up against? So right now, they're trading Bastion for Bastion, but who's the counter pick for damage? That'd be Ashe. Ashe is a decently hard counter to Echo by having a decent amount of range, damage at that range, and enough pressure to keep you at bay. You should probably be swapping off at some point, and I don't know if you do. You haven't alluded to that. Good kill. Oh.
Payloads advancing.
Now, okay, let's be 100% honest. You got away scot-free on that, but she shouldn't have taken the duel. She needs to play by her strengths, and she didn't do
I
that.
should try that again.
But she is still a very real threat to you, and you need to be careful. Ah, Mercy pocketing Zarya. That's going to be fun. Good kill.
Actions at peak power.
You know how to get the assassination, so you're not necessarily... Yeah, you're doing really good as far as the eliminations and target price. Oh. Yeah, frontline fight, we're just going to revert back to that previous statement.
Thank you.
Good. Just to see where I'm at. Oh, 23. Ooh, yeah, I better let this play. I'm going to play this at 1.5 speed.
Thanks for the upgrade. Огонь по готовности. Adaptive circuits engaged. Bastion.
Good. Good. Good pressure. Yeah, I was about to say. Yeah, and then they use their trade. They just use double ults. I'm speeding through this because if you're gonna do something, I'm gonna quickly speed through this. This is taking a little longer than I intentionally thought. How long have I been recording anyway? 40 minutes? Yeah, I'll be good. Yeah, I'm gonna play this a little quicker. You did everything right in that team fight. There's nothing I need to address as far as that goes. You already know what I addressed earlier, so same difference. Looks like you're frontlining again, though. Yep, you're frontlining again. But you're getting key eliminations, that's good. You're getting the supports, good. I would be very careful. Yeah, they're... And you got your ult again. Were you chasing someone? Oh hey, you got a Zen now. Good kill. Wait, did you get that, Mercy? Yes, you got the Mercy. Good. Good kill.
Back online.
Man, you just, like, key on assassinating people.
Engage. Ash.
I think you meant to get the Zarya, didn't you? Good. Good. Contested Ash on high ground. That's good.
Огонь по готовности.
Good. Killing the Bastion. Force out of res. That's good. Zarya caught you lacking. Crack-a-lacking. I'm playing this at 1.25 speed. 1.5 is a little too quick. Oh, good angle. Good. No! You are not. You don't have resources for it. Okay, you're waiting.
Advancing upward.
Yep, this is. Yeah. Yeah. I figured that was gonna happen. They're now holding their. They're withholding their ults just in time.
We're outnumbered. Mind yourself. Adaptive circuit engaged. Your part's on. Get in there. Огонь по готовности.
Oh, they forced you off point. Damn. Okay, so you now have the attack. Nothing else to critique. I think I got everything at the beginning portion. Nothing you did. I did see that you went above, so you are taking advantageous angles when you realize it. So it looks like you just need to reiterate it and make it a little bit more prominent in your matches. You'll be fine. I'm not hating it. I think you're doing really good so far. By the way, I do apologize if it seems like I'm crashing right now. I am a little bit tired and I do need to take a nap before I go into work tonight. So,
Attackers incoming. Squad available. 60
Reaper.
seconds remaining.
it's interesting tech. Take the W. Good pick. Oh, good folks. Good offensive pressure. You got a W because their Bastion went off and did a suicide mission. Emphasis on suicide. And you put the pressure on Mercy and Symmetra. And you won the team fight.
Strategies.
Yes!
I am more durable than I look.
I'm more durable than I look.
30 seconds remaining.
Where did your Reaper go? What is he doing? So let's go back in a second. So good stuff. You're getting all charged from it. Good stuff. Yes, pursue that, pursue that.
Adaptive circuits engaged. Bastion. 54 deconnection. Done and dusted. All that learning paid off.
So I think you got the team kill. I'm not gonna lie, you probably could have just messed with the Lifeweaver a little bit and kept him alive. Because if he can't regroup with his team, he's useless. And that would stagger, because now they'd be down a healer. And then there would only be a 4v5. You would have had the advantageous fight. But I also understand this is not a very coordinated rank. Let's be honest with each other, Silver doesn't coordinate very well. But let's continue. Yeah, they're playing the waiting game and they're probably going to contest now. Yeah. Caught you out of position, yeah. This is probably where they win, right? No freaking way that your Reaper just held that. Good stuff. Good stuff.
Adaptive circuits engaged. Ramatra.
Okay, so I'm only going to mention one thing for a second. So let's just go back a few seconds. You guys are winning. You guys are winning. Whether or not you recognize it, you're winning. You obviously have them staggered because you're beating them in team fights consistently. Now, it doesn't matter what ults they have. What matters is how are you going to play into it. If you're winning, you don't need to... I'm going to just quickly go third person here. So let's quickly speed this up. Okay, so Reaper's getting a position. Bastion decides to get in some... Yeah, Bastion decides to get in some pot shots.
Into the iris.
Why are you all using your ults? Like, thankfully, it looks like your Kiriko didn't use it yet, but I think she's about to. Yeah. So let's be clear about what just happened in this team fight and why you couldn't win it. Because you got so hyper-focused on, oh, hey, we're winning, just keep pushing, let's just get rid of them. You were doing that without your ults. You were doing that without everybody having to blow through something. You had Zenyatta ult. You had Kiriko ult. You had Diva Bomb. You blew through all three. You have zero means to eliminating anybody now other than through your Kiriko ult. And they just used their tree. The Mercy has yet to use hers. And Ramatra's about to get his. Now, you might have yours too, but yours is not as impactful as a Diva Bomb being able to push everybody back. It's not as impactful as Zenyatta, which was going to be able to upkeep everybody, because they do not have a means of damaging you through his ult, save for Bastion, and he just got eliminated. And then Kiriko's ult would have been a great way to, you know, push for maybe like a final fight towards the end, but you just blew through all three of them. And that's not something that's your fault. I'm just saying, like, this is the reason why you ultimately lost, was because everybody got trigger happy and launching their ults thinking, oh, well, let's just get that win.
Adaptive circuits engaged.
You didn't need to use them. They all panic ulted. And now look at what happens. It's 3 more minutes? Nope. Yeah, 3 more minutes roughly. 3.5. Take a bite out of my empanadilla.
Ready for battle. 3, 2, 1. Attackers incoming.
Payloads on the move. Let's stop it. Scaling up.
Taking flight.
Ah. At this point, I'm not going to lie, I probably would have swapped off Echo. For 2 reasons. 1, Zarya and Bastion kind of have your number. They can eliminate you very easily. And you're very heavily outnumbered on that, especially since Zarya's doing a good job. It's not her job to get rid of the aerials, but with the way that you're playing, she may as well be. So I would have swapped off Echo by this point. But at the same time, hold on a minute. Let's see what happens here. So you're caught behind. I would have just gotten out. pincher.
60 seconds remaining.
Yeah, I figured that was going to happen. You also gave up on high ground. I wouldn't have given up on the high ground. I've already mentioned this a dozen times. I won't mention it again.
The payload has reached
Good on you. Good recognition.
30 seconds.
Why did she go diva?
Keep it up.
Огонь по готовности.
Die Augen sterben nicht. Adaptive circuits engaged. Zarya.
So just so we understand, when you guys were making your push, you guys were winning team fight after team fight after team fight, and it was just like bad luck on their end to constantly get shredded before the fight began on some occasions. But now you guys are playing Splintered, which is why they're making progress. Yes, they're losing them, but they're also making you lose enough to make the fight even again, and they're getting their push off. So this could have all been easily avoided if you took the full team fight. But remember also that you're frontlining as Echo. You wouldn't be dying as much. You were mentioning, like... So I'll be 100% honest with you. This is not a criticism. You feel like you got a bounty on your head, but I'll tell you why it feels like you have a bounty on your head. For something like this. Exactly. All the other times I mentioned before of your frontline fighting. That's why it feels like you have a bounty on your head. Who's around you? Who else are they logically going to target when you're on their point? And look at where your team is. You just have your Diva right here, your Reapers over there, you're dead along with your Moira and your Zenyatta, so they're not even in the picture yet. Again, I would be swapping off at this point. So you might benefit from a Tracer, unless you decide to surprise me on this and actually go Tracer. Nope.
The payload is approaching its destination.
So who's on the point right now? Oh! Your Moira swapped off. Good. Baptiste's a good one. He could help stall point a little bit. Looks like you lost your Diva mech. I think you're about to lose this, aren't you? Wow. Wait, you actually got the win. Oh crap, you got the win. Okay, you got the win. Or is it a draw? It doesn't say. We'll check out actually. Hold on. It's not going to give me the report, huh? Crap. Yeah, it doesn't mention. Yeah, so a bunch of positives. You have, I'm not going to even lie. I'm seeing how you're assassinating the backline. You are doing very excellent with your target prioritization. You're doing very good by targeting the support backline. You are doing fantastic getting very quick and precise kills. Yes, you might feel a little bit trouble with your aim. Again, I gave you the advice for that. But I have to admit, I'm very impressed with the fact you just said that you were silver ranked, and yet that is exactly what you're doing. In silver, precisely what you need to be doing. Again, you could be looking into your positioning a little bit better. You could be looking into taking more advantageous fights by keeping your high ground and not just giving it up so easily. You don't need to always play with your team when you're playing a hero like Pharah, Echo, Ashe, Soldier, McCree. Playing with your team is fine from time to time. It just depends on the context, and you need to be able to read the room as to when it's necessary to play with your team. But when you're playing advantageous angles, that's never a bad thing. Even if you're playing split, like, that's the whole point of being able to know what angles you're taking, look at your positioning, see where you are, have an escape route planned. Like, for instance, when you're Echo taking that high beam facing off against Soldier, he could have just ran back to his team and been safe. He could have saved his healing station. You could have still won that fight and made him waste it. And you did so the second time round, but the first time was a little iffy. But you're constantly going back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. You're using your ability very unwisely, and you could have used it for more advantageous positioning and more aggressive playstyle. But that would be my only thing. Like, you were mentioning you feel like you have a target on your back. That comes with positioning. Because right now, your positioning was just not atrocious. It was actually really good. But you were back and forth between frontlining and off-angling. Then frontlining, off-angling, frontlining, off-angling. You were between both. So, just the thing I will leave you with, try to look into keeping your angles when they're advantageous, because you could have put enough pressure to make them back out, and you would have done enough to make them like, oh, we either have to fight on point and against the team that's oppressing us, or we need to focus on our back line and who did they have to get you? Just the Soldier, and the Junkrat, and the Ramatra. Guess which of those three are the most oppressive? So all in all, I don't hate it. Again, try out those settings I mentioned midway through the video. Give those a go and see what that helps out. Other than that, I liked that VOD. That was a really good matchup by the look of it, and you got very lucky at the end. I don't know if that drew or you won. It looks like they were pretty much on point. So I don't know for sure, but hey, I'll take it either way. So yeah, that's all there is to go on.